Well, I won't back down. No, I won't back down. And you can stand me up at the gates of
Hi everybody, it's Mike Newman. It's Monday Morning Finish Line. It's November 12th. We celebrate Veterans Day. Thank you to all the vets out there, and thank you to all of those that serve our country and make a big sacrifice, protect our freedoms. And without you, we wouldn't be doing a show like this. We're going to see how long my throat goes. It's a little raspy this morning. Came back from a busy weekend. Went to the D1 Regionals, Midwest Regionals in Peoria on Friday, and then yesterday, Sunday, at NXR Midwest. So we have a lot to talk about. What can we say about the team performances by Illinois? Wow. There was a parent that asked me, were you surprised that Illinois did so well? No. It was expected that. You have on the girls' side, you have Naperville North, you have Yorkville, you have Downers Grove South that have been running strong all year and been ranked towards the top. So that didn't surprise me. Hersey, Wheaton, Warrenville South, and York. York ran a fantastic race. Not their best race of the year. They're getting to their best race. I think their next race will be their best race of the year. But we'll talk about both of those races. Why don't we start with the girls' race? Caitlin Hart wins the individual title. She runs 17:16. Wasn't close to the course record, but here again, that course was damp. Cole Hocker, who won the boys' individual title, said it was soggy in places. It was, you knew where, this was the fourth time that he's run there. He knew where the soft spots were and knew how he's going to feel. So, don't be surprised with the way the times were yesterday, especially in that girls' race. Girls' race was fantastic. Hart, Alex Morris, wow, what a race she ran, and Taylor Ewart of Beaver Creek, Ohio. And Ewart, wow, she run. Ohio State meet gets pushed back 1 week because of the bad conditions, and the OHSA, the Ohio State Athletic Federation changed the course Saturday morning right before the start. Didn't inform any of the teams. Oh, guess what? We're going to run a different course. What a curveball. What a bunch of knuckleheads. Yet, Ewart wins by 27 seconds on Saturday afternoon. She has to come back in less than 24 hours. She gets third at Midwest. What a fantastic race by her. What a great weekend for her. So those three were together when they came by me with a kilometer to go. And Morris started to push it, Hart started to push it, and Ewart had nothing left in her legs with the reason.
A three-time Nike Cross Midwest Regional Champion from Illinois, Caitlin Hart. Racing for second place, Alex Morris out of Naperville North. Olympic athlete running right there. Here's the state champion from Ohio. Two fabulous races.
Wow, Ewart third.
And Ewart will be third. Comes the third ticket from Oregon. Emma Wilson
fourth.
from Indiana. She'll be
And 6 certs.
But Alex Morris is just running every race. She gets better and better. And she was within 3 seconds of Caitlin Hart. Caitlin ran a great race. Fantastic race, winning that, her third title in a row. And then Morris second. 4 Illinois runners in the top 6. You have Hart, you have Morris. You had Ewart was third. Emma Wilson from Greencastle, Indiana was fourth. And then you have 2 freshmen, Katrina Schlenker of Batavia and Leanna Sertz of Rosary. So 3 Illinois runners up there that are going to be representing the Midwest and Illinois in Portland at the beginning of December. Team-wise, what you could just see as the runners were coming in, how well Naperville North ran, and they keep running better with every race. You had, I think it was a 10-second split between 2 and 5 after Morris, and it was between 25th and 42nd, 43rd, something like that, but there was only 10 seconds separating their 4 runners, and that's going to be tough to beat. Not only it was tough to beat this last Sunday, it's going to be tough to beat in a few weeks in Portland. They just have to go out and run their same race, and they may be the national champions when all is said and done. Yorkville, their front 4 was even closer together this week. You had Kaylee Fox, you had Emily Eberhardt, and you had Helena Claire Onimus, and Haley Simmons was close too. I think Haley was 28th. So you had 4 runners close together. They get their 5th runner closer, either Sarah Clem or Olivia Borowiak. And Yorkville has a chance for a top 3, has a chance for a podium showing. I had them ranked number 2 in the nation in the cross-country zone listings last week, close to Summit of Oregon. Summit won their regional with ease last Saturday. So it's going to be interesting to see. We'll get into the at-larges and everything else with the regionals there. Downers Grove North 3rd. Pack a little bit farther back than normal, but with 132 points within the same distance between that they have been all year with Naperville and Yorkville. They have to wait for an at-large bid. I think they get it, but I can say they can get it. The numbers can show that, but then it comes down to the committee, and what we saw last year, there was some unpredictable things that happened. And but we'll see. On the boys' side, great individual race between Cole Hocker of Indianapolis Cathedral, Josh Methner, Jr. from Hersey, and Methner started to push the pace and went through the mile in 4:44, and Methner started to push it. Hocker went with him and dropped the pack. And then Hocker just waited for the right moment, moved with about a half mile to go. Won by 6 seconds, 15:06 to 15:12. Great race by Josh. And that was it. Let's watch the end of the boys' championship race.
The state champion in Indiana.
And Hocker at 15:06.
Josh Becker, the Illinois state champion, he'll pick up 2nd. What a great race. Thank you to both. Really did the job. Murray, he'll be 3rd.
Ethan Kern 5th.
So I was surprised. I was standing around a kilometer to go, and I see Ethan Kern pass in about 13th, 14th place. And I got my camera going, they're coming in, and Ethan gets 5th. I'm like, oh my goodness. So Ethan goes individually. Methner goes with his team because Hersey is just getting better and better. They're going to be a team to watch out in Portland. They won it by only 3 points, 146, 149 over Wheaton Warrenville South. Wheaton Warrenville South been racked by some illnesses, injuries this year towards the end of the year, and it showed in the race. They had 3 runners up there, and then there was a big gap, and then they're 4th and 5th. If they get healthy before that, they're going to be a team in the running for the top 5 at in Portland. Hersey, same thing. Hersey looks really good right now. Nice little pack. I think 10, 11 seconds between their 2nd and 5th. York getting 3rd. Wow. Now the timing company that did this accidentally left a live feed going on with the results, so we can see what the raw scores were. And interesting to say the least, where there's only 1 point in the raw score separating Wheaton, Warrenville, South, and York. Take out the individuals, and it was only 7 points. Does York have a chance to make it? Yeah, I think so. They've been running better week by week. They ran a good state race, and they ran a better race yesterday. And they're all underclassmen, so I don't know if... Well, the committee considered Saratoga Springs on the girls' side last year because of tradition by name recognition, so maybe that happens with York. But regardless of name recognition, the Dukes really deserve to go. And what about Neuqua Valley getting 4th in that race, only 6 points behind York? Wow, 1 through 5 showing for Illinois. St. Charles East 5th. They've been the top 5 teams at the end of the year, and they deserve to be in there. So we look at large teams. So on the girls, I'm driving home, I'm driving along, and all of a sudden I'm like, I'm going to turn my radio off and just figure through my head. So here's what I think. The Northwest Regional complicates a lot of things because you had Boise, who's been in the top 5 all year, getting 3rd in that regional. They're going to go. I really think that's a foregone conclusion. Hellgate, Montana, state champions in Montana, and they were close to Boise. So do they get to go as a 4th place team? Do they take 2 out of the Northwest? Heartland, I only think the top 2 teams go there, and the reason why St. Michael Albertville wins the state meet, their 2A state meet the week before, and they were a distant 3rd. I mean, like about 40, 45, 50 points behind. So you can't use the reasoning that that team deserves to go, because the trump card is Downers Grove South beat both Wayzata and Edina at Roy Griak. That trumps that. So you can't really, you got to put Downers Grove South ahead of them. Downers Grove South in the Midwest. I want to go back to the Midwest in a second. Then we have next week, we have the South in the girls. No. Southwest. Anything can happen in the Southwest. The shenanigans that went on there last year. But it hasn't been strong enough nationally. Mountain Vista, Newott of Colorado. If Battle Mountain gets in the top 2, that makes things a little bit interesting. Then the following week, Southeast girls, no. Northeast girls, hell no. New York, yes. I think 1 team gets out of there. You had 2 weeks ago, you had Fayetteville Manlius beat Liverpool by 1 point in their sectional championships. Last week in the state meet, Saratoga Springs beats Fayetteville Manlius by 1 point. So you have 3 teams that are close together right now. So what happens if, in a few weeks in New York's regional, if Liverpool and Saratoga Springs get the top 2 spots? What if Fayetteville Manlius is way back? Does the selection committee say, well, because Fayetteville Manlius has done so well, name recognition, we're going to put them in there. It could happen. I hope not. Politics comes into so much of the selections. I wish they would enlarge the fields to 27 teams and go 3 automatic qualifiers. Don't do the at-large thing. Just go with 3, flat out 3. But you know, the intrigue, everything that goes on that Saturday after Thanksgiving for the at-large selections. I don't know. I'm not part of the committee, so but having talked to a few of the members of the committee, I know what goes on, and it's just, what can you say? California, Claremont's strong, Great Oak is strong. Obviously, they're going to go as the top 2 teams, but we'll see what happens in their state meet. Something may happen. If Claremont or Great Oak gets moved back to 3rd, and those teams have been ranked high all year, then you got to take 3 out of there. So it's really up for grabs. Another thing, talking to the Beaver Creek coach, the Nike told them that they're going to be in consideration for an at-large bid, even though that they didn't run in Terre Haute, and I could see why. but it opens up, it's a slippery slope. You're opening up a huge can of worms for precedent and everything else. We ran in this meet, blah, blah, blah. We don't have to run sectionals. Nike, will you consider us? I know I'm just throwing things out there, but that's what their coach told me. So, interesting on that end. So, on the boys' side, I already said about York. I think they're strong enough. They're within 3 points of Wheaton, Warrenville South. But we said the same thing last year. Lyons Township was close to Carmel, and they didn't consider Lyons Township because Lyons Township got 4th. If you're going to use that reasoning from last year with York, you've got to use it with Lewis and Clark. Now, Lewis and Clark in Washington got 3rd behind Comakian and Central Valley at Northwest Regional on Saturday. They were only 1 point behind Central Valley, but they finished 4th in their state meet. And Washington's been strong this year. Midwest has been strong. I read something in DieStat with their regional or national rankings. Midwest has had an off year. Bullshit. It's not true. And there's a little bias going on there, having Minnesota teams ranked in there that shouldn't have been. And Heartland has been low this year. So, that's going to be interesting to see what happens with Lewis and Clark. Heartland, Middleton, Wisconsin, got 2nd in their state meet, and they get 2nd at sectionals. Boy, did they peak, did they run their race of the year so far. They have another race to go in Portland, but they make a return trip. Mounds View of Minnesota was 2nd in their state meet, and they win it. So you have Edina, who was the state champions in 2A, so you're going to have to consider them. But here's the thing, they haven't been ranked high all year. I think the most, 21, 22. York at one point was ranked higher than them. So we'll have to wait and see. I haven't put all the numbers together. I'm just going off at the top of my head. So the other regionals, Southeast, you have Loudon Valley, you have Bolus. And then they're going to have to consider if somebody gets ahead of Bolus. But Bolus is really strong right now. I really don't see maybe Weddington or Cuthbertson from North Carolina, maybe. Northeast, maybe. Bishop Hendrickson of Rhode Island easily beat LaSalle Academy in their state championships 2 weeks ago, Saturday at New England's. I don't know what kind of strategy that they used, but LaSalle was ahead of them. So that's going to be interesting. And then you have Christian Brothers of New Jersey, who's always strong. They didn't run their entire top 7 in groups. They still won groups in New Jersey. New York, interesting. Fayetteville Manlius and Burnt Hills, Boston Lake, too strong for everybody else. I mean, they're ahead, way ahead of the next teams. And Smithson has been a solid 3rd all year, but they're way back. So we'll see what happens in New York. So we said South, no. Southwest, you have American Fork that went. That should go. You have Dakota Ridge is having a good year for Colorado. They're the state champions. They should go. And anything can happen after that. Does Aldred run for Mountain Vista? I don't know if he's allowed to. But Mountain Vista was 2nd or 3rd there. They could sneak in there. Corner Canyon ran a great state race in Utah. They could get in there. But we got to remember what happened last year, the shenanigans in the Southwest, where Tempangos, who gets 20th in Portland, didn't deserve to go. And Desert Vista, who deserved to go, got 4th in that race. But with the rulings, if you take 4, you have to take the 3rd place team. Desert Vista got 8th. They deserved to be in Portland. But the rules need to change. You don't know. I think in some case it's not who you know. Won't go any further on that. So we said the South, Southwest, California. Well, I really think 3 get out of there. But we'll see what happens with when they do the merge after all the state meets. Great Oak is ranked at the top right now, right ahead of Loudon Valley. And then you have Claremont, maybe Newbury Park, maybe, I mean, there's a lot of great quality California teams there. So I cannot see 3 teams getting out of, I think 3 teams will get out of there. So, did I mention everybody? Yeah, I mentioned everybody. So that's just off the top of my head. I haven't put the numbers together. Look later in the week on ilxctf.com. I'll give you an idea, and we'll keep you updated the next week after South and Southwest. And then we go into selection Saturday with Foot Locker Regionals and all of that. And I was at, I said at the beginning, I was at Newman Golf Course in Peoria for the D1 Regionals. And what about Bradley? When they found out that they won, this is what happened. Hey, Bradley, I think first time that they've gone to nationals, have some Illinois boys in there, Jake and Luke Hofert, formerly of Yorkville, leading them. But Bradley ran a fantastic race. Oklahoma State and Tulsa made it as at-large teams. Excuse me, but they didn't run great. And it was snowy in the morning, and then the sun came out, and it was messy. It was a good kind of messy cross-country course. But Bradley goes there. Kyle Mattis of Illinois State, former York runner, didn't want to get interviewed afterwards. He's like, don't interview me, I don't want to jinx it. He got 8th. He was, before they took the at-large teams, he was the first individual out. He makes it in, so good for him. 2 years in a row, first Illinois State athlete to make it to nationals 2 years in a row. Saturday, North Central. I'm going to be up at D3s. D1's in Wisconsin. Wisconsin's going to be the hotbed of cross-country running this weekend. But D3's North Central, 5 in the first, 10 with an 11-second split. It was like 18 degrees, snow on the course. Cross-country weather, wow, but North Central looks really good. They're going to be the team to beat, defending their national championship, so we'll wait and see. Go Cardinals. It's Stripes time. It's North Central time. So I can't wait for that. So, no Monday morning finish line next week. Nothing really to talk about in the Illinois high school level. We will do one on the Monday after Foot Locker Midwest Regionals, and after we find out if we have more Illinois runners in there. Yeah, that's another thing too. York getting 3rd. If York boys team makes it to Portland, Tyler Cushing, who ran a fantastic race, he got 7th in Terre Haute. He'll go as an individual. So hopefully that happens. We have a ton of Illinois people out there, and well deserved for that. So, how long did I go? Oh, somebody texting. What a surprise. So, have a great week, everybody. Have a great Thanksgiving. Enjoy time with your family, friends. If your season is over, hit a turkey trot. Have a little fun with that. The teams that are still alive, get some good training in. Can't wait to see you guys run in Portland. So, till the next time we talk in 2 weeks, it's Mike Newman from Monday Morning Finish Line. We'll talk to you soon. Have a great week, everybody. Bye.
And I won't back down.